We all know by now that Mike Johnson took a big fat L yesterday, but it is so much worse for him than you realize. So yeah, we know that Mike Johnson spent weeks and weeks and weeks trying to prevent this discharge petition around the Epstein files from being signed, right? He prevented duly elected Arizona Representative Adelita Grijalva from being sworn in for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It was all about the discharge petition. And so when she ultimately had to be sworn in, the discharge petition immediately signed. And then Mike Johnson is blustering about how it's not going to pass the House. The vote that comes to the floor is not going to pass the House. And then it passed. What was it? 427-1. And immediately after that happened, he came out and was like, oh, well, we're going to work on an amendment in the Senate. The Senate is going to, finagle. Like, it's not going to pass the Senate. And even if it does, it's going to be amended. No, even before it got to the Senate, it was passed by unanimous consent. Complete and total humiliation for Mike Johnson, who has decided to, Mike Johnson reminds me of like if Donald Trump is a big fat female anglerfish, Mike Johnson is that little parasitic male that has just like permanently affixed himself to Donald Trump. They are now utterly fused. There is no way for Mike Johnson to extricate himself from his attachment and association to Donald Trump. He has been Donald Trump's lapdog. And I mean, like the Speaker of the House is supposed to be representing the majority party in the House, be the leader of the majority party. But Mike Johnson has decided his role is to make sure that the House is completely non-functional so that Donald Trump can advance his authoritarian agenda. Like that's all that Mike Johnson has cared about. He's lied and lied and lied. He's made sure that the House is rarely in session and that they don't get anything done that Donald Trump doesn't desperately want to go forward. Mike Johnson has been Donald Trump's little lapdog, his little lackey in the House. And he's felt very big and powerful, despite the fact that he looks like a little Keebler elf. He's felt really big and powerful because he's been able to control the House pretty effectively thus far this year. Who knows what kind of threats and intimidation and strong arming have gone on behind the scenes to get House Republicans to basically allow themselves to become a fully cemented party of fascism. And House Republicans are not the only ones, right? Senate Republicans are as well. They are abandoning their duty to you, their constituents. They're abandoning their oath to the Constitution in order to be a fully consolidated party of fascism and do whatever Trump wants. And that's at the leadership, the behest of Mike Johnson. And so just what a crushing humiliation for him yesterday. Because his number one job for months and months and months has been to prevent the Epstein files from being released. Because they would implicate Daddy Donald, because they would be devastating for MAGA. And whatever happens to Donald Trump, Mike Johnson has linked his fate to Donald Trump's.